Let me guess, you've tried everything, watched endless videos, tested countless strategies, and still the results aren't there. I know exactly how that feels because I've been there. But what if I told you that the same strategy that helped me make over 6 figures trading small cap stocks can work for you too? Here's why what I have to say matters. I'm RT, and over the past 2 years, I've turned my trading around and made over $400,000 trading stocks. But it wasn't always like this. I started with a small account and I made all the mistakes that you can think of and spent years trying to find a strategy that worked. Now, not only have I built a system that's helped me succeed, but I've also helped hundreds of traders who were stuck like I was and are now achieving financial freedom through trading. In this video, I'm going to break down my proven micro scalping strategy, the exact system that I use to consistently make money in the market. Here's the thing, I'm not just explaining the strategy, I'll show you the setups with actual charts and walk you through live examples so that you can see how it's done in action. With hyper scalping, most of our trades last between 5 and 15 seconds. And when we do get to the live example portion of this video, you guys will see exactly why being in for just 5 to 10, 15 seconds can be deadly in a good way for the gains that we're pulling out, right? On top of that, we want to stress that instead of looking for just the generic 1 to 2 good trades a day, guys, why stop there when our edge and our strategy is reoccurring consistently over time? So what we do, we keep going, and by the end of the day, we've taken hundreds of trades, sometimes 200, 400, 500 trades in one day. My biggest green day so far, 26,000. Insanity. So the next part of this is, of course, that institutional investors and high frequency traders are not competition. Microsoft, Amazon, Tesla, those guys dominate large cap stocks, which is why it's so difficult to day trade some of these stocks sometimes, right? Versus small cap stocks, it is driven by retail traders like you and I, people who are looking for stocks to go up and down. And so when actual humans are involved, there is more vulnerability, which then we can exploit. And yes, that's why we're making money, right? I mean, it can sound a little cynical here, but you know, that's what it means to have an edge. Don't forget that as we go throughout the video. By the end of this video, once you guys get a better understanding of hyper scalping, you'll understand why it's a game we can play every single day. There are daily opportunities. Every day the market opens up and all you need is a few good trades to pay yourself. A lot of people underestimate what it really means to be able to come in consistently and see stocks moving up over 50%, almost guaranteed. Just imagine coming in every single day and a stock is up massive, in which throughout the crazy move, there's volatility. There's opportunities for us to be able to get in high, sell higher, get in low, sell high, and ranks and repeat like clockwork. This is how we're able to see such consistent gains every single day. Not only myself, not only Marcelo, the other mentor here, but also a lot of our students as well who've been turning the corner. So remember, when stocks are moving every day, it really helps us out in terms of just predictability from the emotions and then opportunity because of the moves themselves. Okay, let's talk about the exact strategy that I use to trade every day, which is hyper scalping. It all starts pre-market with scanning. Guys, it's very important that we understand the stocks that we're looking at. That starts off with sometimes a news headline. Not always, but most of the times a news headline. News, you know, companies every day are working to be better. We might have a pharmaceutical company that might say at 8 a.m., hey, we found the cure to the common cold. This headline hits the market and traders fluctuate to that stock and converge to then bring volume, which causes the stock to go up, right? So we'll start off at 0%, 5%, 10, 15, boom, 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 and this can all happen within minutes. And so it usually will start off with a news headline. From there, we always want to consider the float. This is why we trade small cap stocks. The float is important because it allows us to know how many shares are outstanding, how many shares are available for the public to trade. Small cap stocks typically have low floats, allowing the supply and demand ratio to be small to see a move, meaning limited supply, low float. Traders coming in because of a breaking news, aka demand coming in with a limited supply and high demand, you can get that imbalance to the buy side. You can see a squeeze. So we always pay attention to the float. This is why a stock like Apple, for example, where the float is massive and the company is so big, it takes a little bit more volume and or investors for that company to then be able to move up 50%, right? Because it's all already so gigantic. But these smaller companies, we have a new pill that can help with headaches, right? These are the type of breaking news we're seeing from pharmaceutical companies. I mean, there's technology companies, the list goes on and on and on. But at the end of the day, these companies are looking to be innovative. That's what really sparks the catalyst, right? News, flow. From there, we want to make sure that the volume is good, and then we can start to see that imbalance. From there, there's something that we do look at called the spread. We want to make sure between the bid and the ask, the spreads are tight. That way, when we're getting in and out, our risk is limited, right? So when it comes down to hyper scalping, it really starts off pre-market, finding a good stock or two or three, compiling a nice watch list, utilizing those criteria we just spoke about, and then of course from there, pattern, technical analysis / price action. Patterns, as simple as it sounds. Look at the charting behind me, right? You can have green to red to green, etc. Right? There's certain patterns that we'll look for, opening surge, opening range breakout, false breakouts, bear traps, bull trap, and the list goes on. A lot of famous patterns, and we'll utilize price action to help determine where we should be in and out to give ourselves an edge over the markets. That's how we're able to really lock it in. Most days we'll trade from 9:30 a.m. market time, Eastern time, to about 11 a.m., 2-3 hours max, and we're walking away with really nice days. When it comes to hyper scalping, those are our criteria to determine a watch list stock early in pre-market, and how we then utilize that information to take a stock to trade into the market open. Coming into the next step, let's talk about how you can track your data and how this can help your hyper scalping. Guys, day trading, at the end of the day, you have to treat it like a business. You have to. It's mandatory, right? You have to treat day trading as a business. And all good businesses have trackers, right? You have to be able to know what happened, and then you can see what you can improve on from those mistakes. So every trader should be journaling and utilizing software to keep track of their performance. If we go to Apple right now and ask them, hey, on January 25th, 2019, at XYZ location in New York City, how well did this particular store do? How well did this particular item do on that particular day? They'll be able to log in and go right to that location, see exactly the data, see the numbers, and what does that help you to do? It helps you to foresight, it helps you to forecast, it helps you to make improvement, changes, etc. So every trader must utilize software to track their metrics. You must understand your biggest green days versus your biggest red days. What time of day are you green? What time of day are you red? I mean, the list goes on and on. Your risk to reward ratio, right? And so many more things that come into play to give you an advantage to see where you can improve. Another thing that goes hand in hand with keeping track of your data and journaling is screen recording. Man, this is a big one. A lot of people overlook this. Guys, when you screen record, not only do you speed up your learning curve by being able to rewatch the video and getting more screen time in, but you can also see exactly where you're making mistakes and get a third person's perspective of the game, of the trading session, almost as if you're a coach on the sideline rewatching your performance. Man, I can't stress how much this can help you to excel, because there's so much you can learn seeing yourself almost as it seems in real time. So journaling, keeping track of your data, and also screen recording are three big factors that will help you out with hyper scalping. And there are free platforms to screen record, such as OBS. When it comes to tracking your metrics, some people like to use Excel. There are some other platforms out there. I'm currently working on building one myself. That will be out soon, so you guys can definitely stay tuned when it comes to that. It is all about giving yourself an advantage and an edge, and you can't go wrong by having those things in place. All right, guys, we're going to be reviewing two of my biggest trades here in the year here of 2025. One of them is going to be coming from the 24th of February, and the other will be a trade later in March. So let's take a look here. So the ticker symbol was ATCH. This trade happened at 10:34 a.m. Let's scroll down here for a little bit more details. So for some context, the stock was pretty decent, right? It was up pre-market, it was moving in after hours, so we had it on our radar. It was moving up nicely and into the open after a bit of a pullback off of highs, which was around 580 or so. We opened up around 380 and the stock started slowly curling up. You can see it had a halt here, dip, rip, pushed up, and then we started having this bigger consolidation. And let me pull out my drawing tool here. Actually, we started having a bigger consolidation, and that was ideal because it ended up setting us up for a beautiful breakout. This is a good old-fashioned breakout. So in the larger context, we have this bit of a wedge right here, and I really like to look at this as simple as a consolidation and which way are we going to go, right? So we had the lows right down here, stock comes back down right here, double bottom, but in the context of the larger pullback, this is a higher low. And so I was looking for the retest of the uptrend of the consolidation and the breakout over highs. So highs on the stock at this time, we had around 1070. If we're to stretch this trend line here all the way over, right? So This thing was looking primed, and on top of that, now pattern within pattern, within the larger context of this channel, we had a beautiful bull flag. The bull flag is as simple as picturing your country's flag, right? Sometimes it'll be a little bit more rectangular, your stars and your stripes, or it might even be a little bit more triangular, Super Mario style. And so right here we had a beautiful move up off the double bottom and a mini consolidation. And again, it's the same thing. Are we going to go up or are we going to go down? And so watching here, watching the volume, seeing bigger volume on our green candles versus smaller volume on our pullbacks, that gave me a good indication, especially with this bottoming wick, that this thing was getting ready to go. And so what did I do? The moment we broke over this high right here, this high point, at this point we're around price wise 990. So this also overlapped with our break of the whole dollar pattern here when hyper scalping. So I jumped in aggressively and the stock ripped up all the way to 1130, from 10 to 1130. So let's look at this trade here live from the stream. Let's pull it up. So here we go. Let's also get rid of these drawings off the screen here for now. So another thing too, we talk about multi-time frame alignment. Whilst my 1 minute chart is slightly out of frame here, we do have a 5 minute chart also depicting the 5 minute candle making the new high over the whole dollar. So let's mute the audio here. I'll commentate as we go. And guys, I trade live every day, right? This is me. I can even remove my camera right here. Right? This is my raw, real reaction in the moment. So I'm in at 968, watching for the move, fishing for the move, keeping the stop very tight. I'm in, I'm back out. It didn't go right away. Breakout trades need to be instant. I'm watching. I'm going to get back in again. Back in 60. There's 70, 75, 77. Stock is going up. It comes right up to the whole dollar. I'm selling right over the level. And I'm watching to see right here how well can we hold above the level. I jump back in. And right here, I'm going to go crazy with my share size. Guys, share size is ultimately the way when it comes to being confident, seeing consistency. And look at my face right here. This is my game face. I'm completely locked in. Raw, real reaction. I'm buying over 10. And look at how the stock capitulates, the follow through, the resolve, the results from the 5 minute candle making the new high. Again, my 1 minute chart right here, slightly out of frame. But imagine that green candle right here ripping up like we just saw in the other diagram, right? This thing rips up like nobody's business. And we are super aggressive on the trade there. This ended up being over a $9,000 trade. Boom. Look at that smile, man. That is the face right there of victory. So as I'm doing this video now, I'm looking back at it, I'm even feeling happy seeing myself there cracking a smile. And so, the stock continued going. We had a push to 1150 right there. If we're to just fast forward a little bit, I am going to eventually pull it back in frame when I look back at the chart here. I finally put the chart in frame. So again, that big green candle came, rips up. Then, if you look back at it again here, what are we seeing one more time right here? We just had what? A consolidation and a breakout. What does it look like it's happening right here again? Consolidation, potentially another breakout, right? And so every single day we're rinsing and repeating with these patterns, rinsing, repeating. Let's just fast forward a couple minutes to see how the chart actually played out. Right here, I'm up 15,500. Let's go ahead another couple of minutes. The stock is going up. Can we capitalize on the move? We're now at 16,700 and it goes and goes, right? And we then eventually say, hey, you know what? We're going to call it a day. We're going to lock it in. We keep trading a couple more and we end up saying we're going to lock it in. But again, you can see it's not as clean as the last time. It's right here. We had the topping wick, but it did ultimately continue. So that was ATCH, ticker symbol ATCH from February 24th. Pretty big monster trade. And you know what? Something to keep in perspective as well, even for myself. This trade happened on just one candle out of, so many other look at all the other candles that we had that gave a big push, right? And so it just tells you that if you're really and truly trading the strategy to an even extremely high level, you can even make more than this, right? And of course, the share size is part of it. And we can't forget the risk. The risk is also part of it too, because we do have red candles. And if you're not getting in the proper areas, that's where you can end up taking the bigger loss. So that was trade number one, ATCH, one of my bigger trades. Now moving on to trade number two, we're going to be taking a look at ticker symbol NAOV. Guys, this one was on April 8th, 2025 at 10:01 a.m. And on the contrary of a bull flag, guys, we're trading a lot of the patterns we trade with the hyper scalping style are well-known, world famous patterns. What's different about us is our approach and how active we are throughout the day on every opportunity that we see. So, instead of just taking one good trade a day, we're taking all these good trades all in this area here, a couple of dips down here, a couple of dips, breakout, and by the time the day's done, we took 50, 100, 200 trades. Because why stick to one trade when the stock is going, right? So for context, if we're to zoom out a little bit, again, another stock that started early pre-market around 7 a.m. We pushed up, we got all the way up to 940, right? Coming into the open, we're going sideways, we're consolidating, and over highs, over the pre-market consolidation here, again, we're in a bit of a channel. Are we going to go up or are we going to go down? And so the stock did held up right here nicely towards the lows of the channel and continued up, and we broke over the pre-market high, and the stock just kept going from there. This beautiful strong chart right here. And so after the initial incline, we had a pullback, and we then broke down and then had a secondary pullback, right? So quite the opposite of the bull flag. We refer to this now as the bear flag, right? The opposite, the inverse, the bear flag, the bull flag, the bear flag. And so we sold off. You can see this higher low trend, a triangular pattern is forming, and to boil it down, I'm looking at it as a consolidation all over again. Are we going to go up or are we going to go down? Signs are telling us it's going to go up. Why? We're seeing bottoming wicks and higher lows. And so the moment the stock got over this level here above 1120, 1130, that area there, 1130, the moment the stock got above 1130, I'm watching to see how well we're going to do on the breakout. Let's pull up the live video here. Here we go again. This time I'll remove my camera once again so you guys can see my live real raw reaction. And I was actually telling myself on this trade that I was a little bit of a chicken because I could have took more size and I could have had an even bigger winner than the last trade. But I thought about the risk and I'm like, man, if the stock does go against me, I don't want to be down too much. So right here is my first entry to see how well we're going to do above the level. We broke over 1125, 1130. We got up to 50 and I'm like, let's see how well we can hold. And I'm in and the stock starts to hold, and this is where I was supposed to hit the buy button once, 2 more times, but I didn't. However, it's still going to resolve and give that nice move. And again, keep in mind our 5-minute candle here also about to make a new high. Bear flag breaking out. These are all good signs here. Multi-time frame alignment, multi-pattern alignment, and boom, it rips up to 1296 is high of day. We're coming right into that level. I'm selling the position right into the spike, and you can see it pulls back slightly. I think it ended up going a little higher even. And I'm there smiling again. I'm laughing to myself. I'm like, man, I could have took more size on that trade. But this was another one of my bigger winners. This one ended up being about $3,000. And you can see how strong the stock ended up being right here. The candle's still going, right? I mean, just absolutely insane. At the time on the day, I'm up about 4,000. And it's a nice day to that point, right? And guys, this is at 10 a.m. When scalping, man, I tell you, it takes months, more commonly years, to learn and become efficient. But when you can master it and get to the other side, and then you start to put some size behind your trades, man, you'll be surprised as to how quickly you can then make money. You can also lose money too, right? I don't want to ignore the fact that there's also risk. There's always risk, but the strategy is proven, man. And I can show you guys here my overall metrics here over the last couple of years. It's solid, man. 600, almost 700,000, $677,000. If we come to my win versus losing days, you guys will see here that our winning days far outweigh our losing days. And then we also have an average of 1K winner per day versus an average of $500 on the red day. So we're 2-to-1 in both aspects, and we're keeping it tight. You can see here 900,000 in gains to about 200,000 in losses, and there's so much room for us to keep improving and getting better every day. I mean, it's insane what day trading is and what you can do. So be sure to study up as much as you can when you get started, because this is the reality. And I'll go as far to come out and even show you guys some of today. Today, I'm recording this video May 7th, 2025. As of May 7th, 2025, let me show you guys even just today. Today, I traded ticker symbol ASST. Let's pull it up here. ASST. And wow, I actually didn't even realize as I'm making this video, this one is making a new high and breaking out from this bigger pullback. I left out over here, and look at that. The stock is ripping up here. So anybody who's still around, who's paying attention and understands the strategy, I can almost guarantee that they're doing all right now on this one. Insane. And it came up to this trend line that we had up there at 282, which was resistance. But for me, if I saw it a little earlier, I would have did some live trading during this video, but it's just a little late. And I don't want to get involved because I would have already been trading it since down here, right? Since in this area is where I would have been getting involved, especially this resumption trade here. So I'm a little late to the show. That's fine. I'm going to let it go. But, even just today from hyper scalping, we were able to make over 1,900 on just this one stock right here. Isn't that insane, guys? This is what day trading is all about. This is what hyper scalping is all about. Coming in every day and trying to walk away with some gains, right? But keep it tight. We always aim for a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, meaning if For every 20 cents we're looking to make, we're only looking to risk 10 cents, and we look for 2 to 1 or better. So if we can even make a better ratio than that, let's say, hey, can I make 50 cents and only risk 15 or 20 cents, right? That's even a better ratio. And so that's what we're looking to do every day. We go through our criteria, we look at our volume profile, we look at our percentage gain, our news, our spreads, our patterns, and we look to position ourselves in the best place possible where we can find support and then sell into the spike before the resistance really come in, especially if we break through resistance and resistance becomes support, even better. And so that's how we're seeing a lot of follow through on these breakout trades and these pullback entries. So hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, check out those links down below, join the classes, join the chat room, and start educating yourself today, right? The saying is don't delay, start today. And so, it's going to continue to be a very fruitful career here for us. We really enjoy what we do. Day trading is so fun. And, here's the resumption on this stock here, ASST, moving up a little bit wild, I'll say, at this point in time in the day. But yeah, it's been a good one. I hope you guys enjoyed those 2 quick review sessions of 2 of my bigger trades here so far this year. Okay, now that you've finished watching those crazy live examples, tell me you're not impressed. Tell me that you don't see the value in hyperscalping. Tell me that you don't see the hype that surrounds the stock market. And guys, even from those examples you saw that I was really only able to lock in a couple of key areas whilst the stock still had such massive moves. So that tells me even where I am today, I can keep getting better, which means I can potentially make more. And what more do I need to see to believe, right? That type of money, yes, granted, it takes time. Not get rich quick. It takes months, more commonly years to get there. But, for someone who was working an Amazon warehouse job and then being able to do that, come on, man, there is no comparison. This is what it means to be free. This is what it means to have freedom. And so the stock market is the greatest accumulation of wealth known to man. Trillions of dollars passes through every single day. Can I come with a small teaspoon, a small bottle, maybe a bucket, heck, maybe a pickup truck, and can I scoop away a little bit of water? And can that money add up over time? Because think about it. If at the end of the year, you have an additional 40,000 sitting in your trading account from gains, an extra 100K, an extra 200K, I mean, at that point, maybe you go full time, right? But think about what this money could mean. The kids' college tuition, maybe redoing your roof, redoing your basement. It can mean vacation. It can mean, it can mean so much. It can mean retirement. It can mean money towards your savings, paying off debt. It can be money for, whatever really comes to mind, right? This is the beautiful thing about the market. And so I hope you guys are inspired after seeing the live trading, after hearing a little bit about small caps. And so the way for you guys to get involved is to hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, stay tuned for more content. You guys can always feel free to check out our chat room. That link is down below. And heck, if you want to take it a step further and actually get the full course to the hyper scalping strategy, I'm giving away an insane 50% off discount. You guys can use the coupon code Big Green in one word together. Big Green will give you guys 50% off the Merciless Markets Blueprint. And for those of you who want to go crazy and get the full-on mentorship, you guys can use the same coupon code to get 50% off with the full program, which does include mentorship. The blueprint is for those people who are looking to get access to the full course in the chat room. For those of you looking to get the full program, which does include mentorship every Monday and Thursday at 8 p.m., you guys can check that one out as well. But man, let's get dialed in. Check out the chat room and let's stay excited. Let's stay motivated. I'm in my mid-20s and never in my life would I have thought that I would be able to make thousands of dollars like this in an instant, in a moment. And again, I want to stress that it is not get rich quick and it takes time. It took me months and years to get to this level. 2 years of losing trades to get here. But boy, is it sweet as I am right now eating, as Shaq says on TNT, barbecue chicken, baby, because life has changed. You guys can check out the channel to see all the crazy stuff that we do here because life is now much better after getting to the other side. So hit that thumbs up, subscribe, stay motivated, stay encouraged, and let's keep pushing. Catch you in the next one.